Hello guys, my name is Ash from Ventura Tour Central Asia, a tour company based in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, and today we're doing a Bishkek City tour for those of y'all who may be interested in visiting our town. So today's 15th February, on the day when we're filming this episode. So in warmer seasons, which is spring, summer, you may be expecting way more greenery than this. So yeah, today maybe the views may be a little bit dull, but that's all right. All right, so let's dive into the Bishkek City tour.
Take you on a ride. I know that you've been missing all the things that I used to whisper in the ears. Baby, have a look around. The view amazing, you look crazy. What are we gonna be doing now? Let me take you on a ride. I know that you've been missing all the things that I used to whisper in the ears. Baby, have a look around. The view amazing, you look crazy. What are we gonna be doing now?
All right, so the first location of our city tour is the Victory Square. It is a square that was initiated in 1985 and is dedicated to the victory during the Second World War. I'm not sure if you know, but Kyrgyzstan was the part of the Soviet Union from 1928 up until 1992. So we were one of the 15 republics that fought in the Second World War. So there was more than 200,000 men sent to the war from Kyrgyz Republic. So half of them never returned back. So this is a pretty big thing for us, for the whole post-Soviet Union space. I mean, a lot of victims, a lot of brothers, fathers, sons died. So yeah, this square was initiated in 1985 to celebrate the 40 years anniversary of victory. So as you can see, this writing is saying 40 years of victory. So here, basically we've got this structure which is performed in the shape of the national Kyrgyz yurt, the national nomadic dwelling. We also have the eternal fire burning right in the center of it, a monument of a Kyrgyz woman representing any Kyrgyz woman waiting for her brother, her son, her father to come back from the war. A couple of monuments depicting the hardships of war, and basically just a very nice area for walking around and strolling in the evening. So let's go and see what it looks like.
I show them love. I better save it all for you, so don't you say no. The temperature rising high, baby, drop it low, 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 low. I feel like there is something between us two, so let's find it out. Drop it. Let's find it out. Let's find it out. Let me take you on a ride.
So after the Victory Square, we are proceeding towards the most central part of Bishkek, which is the Alato Square. And on the way to which we're going to be seeing some other attractions. So guys, another beautiful example of the Soviet architecture from 1950s. This is the Opera and Ballet theater that is built. It's performed in the architectural style of classicism, mixed up with the hints of national ornamentation. Very beautiful. Still functioning. You can still book your tickets to get inside and watch some plays or some ballet. So during our city tour, you will have an opportunity to do some push-ups on the way to the central part, if you're so much into fitness. Let's go. In the back of me, you can see one of the first libraries of Bishkek, which was built in 1960s. So now, as we are approaching the famous, beautiful Oak Park, you might have a nice break in this little French coffee shop, Paul. And yes, this is a sponsored integration. They promised to give us 2 bagels for this. And this building is the Russian Drama Theater, named after Chingiz Aytmatov, the most famous, worldwide famous Kyrgyz writer. His works have been translated to over 120 languages, if I'm not mistaken. So some of his most prominent works that you might know is The White Steamboat, The First Teacher, and many, many, many others. I don't remember all of them, but he's great, so check him out, Chingiz Aytmatov.
Some millions people exhausted in vain. Some billions money been scattered in the air. Some trillion souls been going through the time. I guess you can run away. Okay, take mine.
So this Oak Park also serves as a very nice open-air gallery with a lot of sculptures of this kind. And all of these statues, they derive from the national folklore of Kyrgyz people. So for example, this guy, Kojam Kul, He's a real character. He lived in Kyrgyzstan about 150 years ago, and there's a very famous story connected with him. So he's known for having carried his horse on his back over a mountain pass on the way to his home village, right? True or not, it's up to you to judge.
Biggest piece, ayy. Poverty's no sin, but every day we need to pay. Need inspires action, I said NIA. What you trying to do is about a good. There's a difference between what you earn and what they lose. All the ways, all the time, we fight for green grass. Brothers move the road to be wiping on people's ass. Struggling but hustling, working and planning big. Only prospering the mustering craft, laying the brick. I'm narrating a simple story of striving for best. It ain't no nighters, but we've been through shit, nevertheless.
So this is another very nice painting, open air painting gallery in the very center of Bishkek. So you can walk through this alley, have a look at some of the really cool paintings, and also you can purchase them.
Okay, take my soul. Take my soul. We want a better life. Give me hope. We want a better life. Praying hard. We pray for a better life. We want a better life. We need a better. Take my soul. We want a better life. Give me hope. We want a better life.
All right, guys, so here we go, the very central part of Bishkek, Alato Square. It's called Alato, but you might happen to read it Alatu in English, but it's called Alato. So Alato, from Kyrgyz language, it means a colorful mountain. The reason is, look that way. So from the central part of the city, you can see the mountains all around the city. So you can see the mountain tops of that Tian Shan range, which we locally call Alato. So let me break down the scene, what's going on here. So we have the statue of Manas. In a nutshell, Manas is the father of the nation, father of the Kyrgyz nation. So he was the one who united all 40 tribes of Kyrgyz people somewhere around 10th century. So Manas statue, the biggest flagpole in the country, right, with the biggest flag. That way we have the historical museum, very nice for visiting as well. And that way we just have this spacious city plaza with some buildings, cafes, restaurants. This is also the place where we set up the Christmas tree for the new year. And yeah, so feel free to walk around and explore it. Also, under this flagpole, you have the guards of honor, and they change every hour, which is a pretty interesting sight to witness as well. And this beautiful white marble building is the old Parliament House, the White House, which is still the continuation of the Alatu Square. So after the main square, we're driving all the way to this train station. This is one of the first train stations in Bishkek, which was built in Soviet times in 1930s. So we normally come here just for the sake of showing you the architectural examples of the early Soviet times. Look at that, pretty beautiful. So the railway connections in Kyrgyzstan isn't that much developed, but still we got something. If you ride that way, you end up in the first town of Issyk Lake, the legendary lake. If you ride that way, you end up in Kazakhstan, Russia, so on and so forth. Also, this train station stands at the very beginning of the best and central boulevard of the city. So now let me explain to you why this is the best boulevard of the city. So this is the boulevard itself, this is the train station, and this is the beginning of the boulevard. It's called Erkindik Boulevard, which from Kyrgyz language means freedom. And so you've got a nice monument here for a famous Russian Soviet revolutionary and a military figure who was born on this territory before we joined the Soviet Union in 1928. So he grew up, he was born here, and then he went back to Russia, became a very famous military figure. And then later on, when we joined the Soviet Union in 1928, they decided to name this city after him. So his surname was Frunze. And so from 1928 up until 1992, up until the very collapse of the Soviet Union, Bishkek was named Frunze, right? So our generation, we were born in Bishkek, but our parents, they were born in Frunze. So let me show you what the boulevard looks like. It's pretty long. It's stretching down to like 8 streets, 8 intersections. So let's stroll down this boulevard.
We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to get lucky.
So now let me explain to you why this is considered the best boulevard of the city. We have 2 main boulevards in Bishkek, but this one is supposed to be like the best, the central one. First reason is because of its location. It goes straight down through the heart of Bishkek. And the second reason is very simple, because when this boulevard was getting built about 100 years ago, all these houses on the sides, that way and that way, all these houses, they were built specifically for the Kyrgyz aristocracy, for the Kyrgyz top crust, writers, politicians, ballet dancers, singers, you name it. So as you can see, the local buskers have gotten out to play some music. Let's go and have a listen.
We're up all night to get some. We're up all night to get fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 We're up all night to get lucky.
Alright guys, so now we have reached the Philharmonic Hall. This is basically a square where the Philharmonic Hall is located. Here we have the Manas statue again, the monument of Manas. So as you can see, we have a little bit of subculture going on right here. So youngsters skating, cycling, performing tricks and everything. Also, at the same square, we have another 3 examples of Bishkek architecture. So this building is an international university. That one straight up is the mayor's office, in other words, city administration. And that building is the old branch of the National Bank. Alright guys, so now it's the time for the cherry on the cake, as we are at the legendary Osh Bazaar, where you can get practically anything, but most importantly, you can experience a daily shopping routine of Kyrgyz people. Let's go and see. So we're gonna start with the dried fruit section, right? And then from here, we're gonna proceed on to the other sections. So now we are savoring the legendary cheese balls of Kyrgyz people, which are called kurut. So to the taste, it's sour and salty, so you definitely have to check it out when you're at Osh Bazaar. Alright guys, so this is it for our city tour. Of course, it's not all the places of Bishkek, but we have shown you all the must-see sites of our capital city. So, if you are ever planning to come to Bishkek or interested in visiting Central Asia in general, please consider subscribing to our channel because there's going to be tons of information on Central Asia, including Kyrgyzstan as well. There's going to be many types of vlogs like this in different places. So, see you in the next one.